Okay, so hi, I'm really excited about this next Vibemakers interview, which are conversations with culture activators. And today I'm talking to Beth White, who is the CEO and founder of MeBeBot. And Beth, I remember meeting you at Disrupt HR Austin in 2023 for the first time.
Yes.
It was at the precipice of some big changes during that time.
For sure. That was great to meet you in Austin, Marnie. It was so much fun to put the face with the person and in that great energetic environment of the Disrupt events, and the Austin chapter is fabulous. And I know we know some people in common, like Mindy Hankoop, who is very active in that group. I love Mindy. And it was a wonderful event to see everyone bring their ideas forward to really help us reshape and think the way, we perform our roles in HR, and the way, even HR processes, technologies, or even thought processes could change to benefit employees and the profession. So
exactly.
A little plug for Disrupt HR. So
right.
Yeah.
And I remember being so inspired by the talk that you gave, which was really bringing AI into employee experience. And this was at a time where it was a fairly new concept to the world of HR. And so you really, truly were one of the disruptors coming in and making it not so scary for us.
Well, thank you, Marnie. And what's crazy is that have no fear, AI is here, which was the title of the pitch. 5 minutes to go through why AI is going to make an impact of the role, profession, and the employee experience. I did that same thing almost 5 years before that. So that's how long I've been talking about this to the market. And having come out of HR, my only goal was to really help elevate the role of HR within organizations, because I know there's such a bigger opportunity to do different things, to drive culture, to drive engagement, to drive a true employee experience, to do everything from strong talent acquisition through the whole employee life cycle, ideally through, retaining talent longer, and, even the alumni relationships that we all have these days. So, been out there evangelizing for a while on AI for HR for so many different ways, and I'm glad to see the time is now here where people are embracing it more, and we do our best at MeBeBot to make it less scary to go down this path, because it's not just a few steps, it's going to be a journey for us all.
Yeah, absolutely. And, look, here we go down the journey. We're so excited and passionate about, where we are. But maybe we should start from the top. Would you mind,
Sure.
Introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about MeBeBot and what you've been up to?
Well, it is interesting. It's been fun to be in this realm right now, for sure. I started my HR career sort of accidental, as many people did in HR. I sort of fell into it many years ago, and I had worn every different type of hat in HR, from recruiting through all the talent life cycles, compensation, benefits, to employee relations, everything, and worked for organizations of all different sizes. So having had that experience, I knew what it took to really, make HR a successful, integral part of businesses. But I got frustrated after a while and left the profession for years, because frankly, I felt like we were so burdened by so many administrative and paper processes that you couldn't free up your time to move forward and do things that were more strategic for the business. So when I had an opportunity to come back toward the profession of HR, it was with a solution, MeBeBot, which is an AI chatbot designed to help alleviate some of the admin manual work within the role of HR, so that we can really focus our times on more strategic aspects of the business and really propel things forward. And it's been so exciting to see our AI chatbot help companies do everything from automate answers to employee commonly asked questions, to help employees get communications in a timely fashion, to give them an opportunity to provide real-time feedback to different types of surveys, and allowing the business to see what those results are so that they can learn and respond to things happening inside their organization faster and more dynamically.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that made me so excited to continue the conversation with you. I'm now actually a brand ambassador for MeBeBot,
Yay.
but
Awesome, Marnie.
yeah, exactly. Glad to be one. But also following your career journey, I was an accidental HR professional and had some reflection moments. For me, it was moving more into the culture side of things, and understanding that if you do HR right, you can focus on the things like the culture and creativity and being different. So was there a moment for you or an experience for you that really sparked your passion when it came to either culture or the human-centric piece of human resources?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was very fortunate to be at a .com in the era of the .coms. Yeah. So I worked for a company called Garden.com, and I was the head of HR, and I walked into an amazing culture. So I cannot take 100% credit for it. The founders of Garden.com were amazing. They believed in people. They wanted to have a fun, vibrant community within inside the company. And so we had so many great, kind of edgy benefits and perks and, culture actions that really were meaningful to employees. It was everybody wanted to work there. People stayed with us for a long time. And it was because we had a great new hire orientation. We got people off to a great start. They got to learn about the business, understand what was happening, where they fit in. We provided them lots of learning opportunities. We provided them benefits that were meaningful to them by learning about what they liked and what they wanted. And even some perks, like we were one of the first places that allowed dogs within the office. And then because we had dogs in the office, we had a mobile dog grooming service that came by, and people did pay for it out of their own pockets, but anything we could do to help employees maximize their time away from the office. I mean, we even had a mobile car wash service come out. So it was just tons of things to build and create a culture that people just wanted to be, part of this company because of the vision and the passion that the organization had for what they were doing in a very game-changing area. I see the ability to use technology to do that too, because I've witnessed firsthand, the technology like an AI that helps break down barriers between global locations. There's a lot of times companies don't know how employees are doing if they're on a completely different time zone. There's just a lack of connectivity there. And so things that we do within MeBeBot to make sure that no matter where an employee lives within the world, because organizations are going global so quickly these days, they're feeling connected to the business, because being in on what's happening within your workplaces is like always been to me a fundamental of company culture. You have to be able to communicate and let people know what the business is doing and how they in themselves make an impact on the future of the growth of the company.
Yes, absolutely. That clarity and connection piece, I think the two go hand in hand. And without that, particularly in a distributed environment, it's just imperative, at least if you want a strong, connected culture in your organization.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
So as someone who is really at the front of HR technology and AI and how all of that's shifting, what's one thing that you'd love to see in workplace culture over the next, let's say, 5 years or few years?
Yeah, well, I think it's not just a like to see, it's going to be an imperative. And that is cultures are going to have to start to embrace the fact that jobs as we know them today aren't going to look the same as they have in the past. And how we're even defining roles and responsibilities on everything from a job description to a job posting are going to be changing. And the more connected companies and especially the HR team can be to the overall business needs and demands, the more you can start to prepare yourselves now. And it comes down to, what is it going to look like at this organization in 5 years to make this company successful? And while every company is not necessarily ready to embrace AI, it's going to be an imperative by board of directors and CEOs are going to get the pressure to be more operationally efficient and to start to streamline activities. And so with that said, getting a culture of learning happening within inside the company where, this isn't just a one-time course on AI and you're done. This is we're in a pivotal moment in our whole cultural, societal revolutions that are happening right now, where continual learning will be the norm. And many of us have embraced it when it comes naturally for us, like how many of us have picked up a mobile phone and next thing you know, you're pretty big whiz at it because it's benefiting you. You're seeing the value to it and you spent time to learn your mobile phone, add some applications, get how to use it to make your life easier. Well, the same thing is going to be happening within AI, within the jobs that we hire for, the jobs that we're developing and career pathing for, and then the roles within HR are going to be changing as well. So starting to have a future vision of what that's going to look like and work back forward or back to present day and see what kind of incremental steps you can make, because you're never going to be able to do it all at once, is going to be really key.
And I think that's so important. I know we talk about, is AI going to take jobs and whatnot, which it comes up quite a bit. But to your point, most of the people that listen to this show are in the people business, and we look to grow people and to set people up for success and to have them do well. And to your point, in 5 years, what are we doing today that's going to make them successful in the future? And it's not about what jobs are being replaced. It's how do we amplify what we have at our disposal, and how do we prepare our teams to use those tools in a way that helps not only advance our companies, but their careers as well.
For sure, because I think people, there's varieties of opinions on, AI and solutions, in the market today, but getting people, over the fear factor is the first step.
Yep.
Addressing questions and concerns that they have. I think those need to be very open conversations companies are having. Does this impact my job? Am I going to lose my job? If I use this AI solution, is that going to become, something I always have to do? People have a lot of questions, and I think just, not everybody has the right answer, or I shouldn't say right answers. No, but people don't think their answers are right. But to say you don't know is actually okay right now, because there's a lot of unknowns. And so just to say, hey, we're going to help empower you on a journey. We're learning. You're going to be learning along with us. Just building a level of trust with your employer, and that's one of the things HR is great at doing, to say, trust me, I'm going to help you, employee, and we're gonna go through this journey together, is going to be incredibly impactful to organizations as they go down that path.
Love that. The co-creation piece. So yes. Important. And it's the first step to trust, and say, hey, we're going to get through this together. And like, you're speaking my language.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there are reasons, people do say, is AI going to replace my work? You can ask many of the creators out there of these types of technologies and solutions. I don't think there's a single person that said this technology is going to replace X number of human workers. It was always about AI being worked with alongside the individuals, whether you're in HR and you're partnering with an HR chatbot to help automate answers to questions, or you're in customer success and you're using AI to help you get quick answers while you have a support call in progress. There's just so many different ways that people are going to be able to leverage it to help them with their work, and the idea was that it was working alongside it. But to be fearful and sit at the wayside is not probably a good place to be, because that is where people have more risk, right?
Absolutely. And that, looking at it as an enablement piece, it's so important.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
I'm not sure, but I'll give it a try. So
great. Well, these are just for fun. So whatever comes to mind, and we'll go from there. All right, so question 1. If MeBeBot were a superhero, what would its superpower be?
Its superpower would be reducing time and making people more efficient.
I like it. Captain Efficiency.
A captain of efficiency. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, next question. What's a book, podcast, or resource every leader should check out right now?
There's so many good ones. It's hard to really put a finger on one. It just depends on what a leader is looking for. I frankly love reading Harvard Business Review. It sounds very nerdy, but as a people leader, or just a leader, they have some of the best content out there on leadership, right? If you're looking for content on leadership, they can't go wrong with the Harvard Business Review. As far as podcasts, there's so many different ones, from AI to this is a great one to listen to get up to speed. Books, one of the books that I always recommend that could be a very good facilitator for this era we are, of what we've been talking about, building culture and how to help people get to that next level of what's right for them. Have you heard of a book called Designing Your Life?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it's a great book that actually Stanford professors wrote to help recent college grads understand how to think about their life in terms of design thinking. Like, how do you want your life to be? How do you want, to do your work? How, what kinds of work makes you excited? What makes you drained? So in a way, I'm old enough where I can say it's kind of like the modern version of What Color is Your Parachute, and I'm sure I'm very much dating myself.
I know what you're talking about.
Much better. It's elements of design thinking that we all have to think about as we consider ourselves in our careers, right? We need to be putting ourselves in the best product use case ways. And it's going to help everyone understand also what you want out of your employer and to be more verbal about it. And for HR teams, especially those that are in career development and learning, this is a great book to help align people with the new world of work, which will be changing. Jobs will be shifting, and getting, people talk about skills-based, job approaches. But really, this is that on steroids, so that's another good book. There's a number of good books on AI, and I'm drawing a blank on one that I just recently read. I like to read the futuristic books about AI, just like what are we looking for in the future. And then one of my favorite blogs is AI Tools or AI Network, and what they do is they suggest different types of AI tools you can use that just make different aspects of your life and work easier. So I think if you just Google AI Tools Report, you can get subscribed to that. So it's a fun one.
Fantastic. And maybe we'll even put the link in the show notes after here, so that anyone can hit that link and get to those tools.
Sure, and I probably have other book recommendations, too. So,
well, send them my way. We can do best book list under.
And it's like I wish I had enough time to read everything I want to read, but we all struggle with that. So,
yes, absolutely. Okay, so next question is: what's one habit or ritual that keeps you grounded as a leader?
Oh, I have to say I really like to go on walks or runs. I mean, those are like getting some proper exercise is essential for my mental well-being. I mean, I think we all have to find ways that we get out our stress. And for me, going on a couple-mile run is huge. So that is amazing to me and is something I don't ever want to give up. And as, different climates and conditions change, I still like to go on a good walk, because you can pretty much do that anywhere. So that's a good ritual that I like to do. I also am a bit of a planner. I like to get, kind of my day, sort of thought out. And one of the rituals I'm training myself on is how not to over schedule, as well as I have ridiculous expectations of how much I can get done in a day. So getting a little bit more grounded in that is one of the things that I'm personally working on as we all work to grow our skills in those areas.
Exactly. We're all a work in progress. I'm a bit of a runner too. Well, I wouldn't call it running. It's more just like
Yeah, it's really jogging for me, I mean, sometimes fast walkers even pass me, so it is what it is. So,
yep, I just embrace, where I am.
yep, getting out, getting exercise, anything you can do to kind of reposition your brain for a while is good. So,
Exactly. Okay, I have one more rapid fire question. And if your company culture was a theme park ride, what kind of ride would it be? Bonus points if you can actually tie a name to it.
well, it'd be definitely a roller coaster, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. We look at it as a good thing because, there's been some high highs, but, we're in the world of AI, so it's constantly changing, and I feel like there's days where we're going down and things are moving so fast, it's hard to keep up, and then there's times where we're, spiraling or we're doing a loop-to-loop, and just trying to keep our bearings through it out. So, definitely a roller coaster. I mean, that would be it. And gosh, what is the one at Six Flags? I used to go to some of the Six Flags amusement parks, and I'm trying to think of one of the names. I think there was one called the Rattler in San Antonio that's like, it's kind of a fast ride and very solid, but there's also the Superman, which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
It's the one where you're that's more of a game changer roller coaster where you're laying flat with your face down and
Right.
you're doing the ride that way. So MeBeBot doesn't do things, we're trying to get people to reshape their thinking, and that Superman roller coaster is one that's like, hey, there's a roller coaster where you sit in a cart, or there's one where you pretend you're Superman and you're flying so we're probably more of the Superman.
I love that, because it's like, okay, there's roller coasters, and then there's doing roller coasters in a unique way. And so
Yeah,
that definitely describes MeBeBot. For sure.
Yeah, and we could even say Wonder Woman, or she doesn't fly, though. It has to be someone who flies,
She could fly. It's fine. That was fantastic, Beth. Thank you. Your insights and especially coming from the lens of AI and everything changing in technology, not just AI, but the world of work in general, are just so valuable. So to wrap things up, where can listeners and viewers find you, find MeBeBot? Where's the best place to learn?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you we have several different ways you can follow MeBeBot. One is through LinkedIn. There's both a MeBeBot page, and then I have my own profile. Feel free to send a connection request. Happy to meet anyone in the profession, and looking forward to sharing what I know. And we also have a website, mebebot.com, MEBEBOT.com, and we have lots of great content out there, from blog articles where we do a lot to educate on everything from use cases and case studies from our customers. We have product tours and demos that you can watch, anything to help get some learning happening. And those are the main areas where we have ourselves out there. And at times we do go to different conferences and events, and as those get kind of fine-tuned for the next year, we'll have some announcements around those that we share through LinkedIn.
Well, I can't wait to hear about the announcements, and just can't thank you again enough, for being on the Vibemaker series. I knew this conversation was going to be a lot of fun. We just speak a lot of the same language, and it definitely was. I think our listeners are really going to enjoy it. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Marnie, for everything you do to get such a great vibe out there, and be so positive with your energy and enthusiasm, because we all have a way to make a difference, and each person plays a part. So, and just embracing it and jumping in. I hope everybody's able to do that.
Yes, absolutely. And coffee soon.
Yes, sounds great. All right. Well, thank you, Marnie.
Thank you.